So you've chosen for me to read Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So far, I'm enjoying it. Let me give you the premise, because I don't think I did like a great job at explaining it in the intro or whatever I did for this, but essentially we follow this girl, her name's Liz, and she is a hopeless romantic. She loves old, like, rom-com, not necessarily old, but most of the ones she's kind of mentioned are like those classic rom-com like movies, like, you know, there's 27 Dresses, there's She's All That, was it He's All That, I don't know, what's the new one, I don't know what the old new one is, what the old one was called, I don't really remember. Anyways, she kind of bonded with her mom, like, over watching these movies. It's something kind of special they did together, and so her mom passed away when she was in, like, 5th grade or whatever, so this book does talk about grief a lot, but essentially she's kind of always dreamed of having this sort of rom-com, like, story of her own, to the point she's not really willing to settle for, like, anybody. She has, like, gone on dates, and, like, the longest she's really dated a person is, like, 2 weeks. She kind of gets obsessed with them, and then she dates with them for 2 weeks, and then she gets this ick, and she gets bored of them, and realizes they're not gonna fulfill her rom-com passions that she wants them to fulfill. And so she has this, like, boy who re-enters her life. His name is Michael, and she's decided that he is going to be the one for her. She, like, knew him in elementary school. He knew her mom, and she's decided that this is her rom-com movie moment. She can go to prom with him. Like, she just knows this is the guy for her. The thing is, Michael doesn't seem all that interested in her, so she ends up getting help of her next door rival neighbor, and his name is Wes. They were kind of childhood friends, but, like, they also have never really gotten along with each other, and so she enlists him to help her out to get this guy to be interested in her, because she noticed that Wes and Michael are friends, so she enlists his help, but within doing so, she ends up falling for Wes in the process. And I gotta say, for a girl who loves rom-coms, she is so oblivious to what kind of story arc this is getting. It's very interesting because you hear her talk about, like, enemies to lovers, and she likes that trope, and, you know, how she wants her life to play out as a rom-com. And the one thing I don't think I understand about this book, aside from, like, driving the plot forward, is why she's so oblivious and why she thinks it's Michael, of all people. She's so convinced Michael's her, like, rom-com movie moment, especially, but, like, it doesn't make sense, especially when she's, like, referencing, like, enemies to lovers sort of things. So obviously her rom-com movie moment is Wes. I'm, like, 200 pages into it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I am enjoying this, but I'm gonna start with the negatives. She's kind of treating her best friend kind of crappily, and it's one of those main characters who doesn't communicate, and that's only gonna cause miscommunication in the process, which is something I mean, everyone kind of hates miscommunication in books, but I hate miscommunication being this dragged out thing to drive the plot forward, and it doesn't get resolved to the very end, where, like, you know, books like Flip the Script, which I read this year, like, didn't do that. The main character saw an issue, dealt with it, we move on with our lives. And so I just get really frustrated with books that, like, draw out miscommunication. I just don't think, I mean, that's just not a trope that works for me anymore, obviously. Like, it never did. It's always annoying, and it's always frustrating. I mean, I'm still enjoying books that do that, like What I Like About You by Marisa Cantor did that. You know, like, a lot of YA books tend to do that, but I'm just kind of sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I need authors, especially YA authors, I mean, it does happen in, like, romance, like, adult romance too, but I just need authors to stop using miscommunication to drive the plot forward, okay? I know not everyone's great at communicating, but it's frustrating to see it, like, all the time. Like, I'm just tired of seeing it. I need these characters to just, like, communicate, you know, like, people. And I feel like the main character's reason, like, I feel like in some books, like, I can understand the main character's reasons for not communicating. Especially if they have, like, anxiety, I think I can understand it, like, a lot more from that standpoint, where, you know, communication can be a little bit more difficult with people who have anxiety, not all the time, but I'm just saying, like, you know, coming from experience, sometimes, like, communicating, like, I can, but sometimes, like, I know it's the best thing, but sometimes, you know, anxiety, like, there is still that anxiety in my head that can get in the way of that, and, like, you know, understanding. So that's my only reason I could ever be okay with miscommunication, and if it was, like, a good sort of, I don't know, reason. If it's for a reason maybe I can't as easily empathize with, then I don't know. And I feel like the main character just needs to communicate, because, so prom's coming up, and so she is going with her best friend Jocelyn, and I feel so bad for this friend Jocelyn. Jocelyn deserves better friends, not gonna lie. Or just better, because it's very frustrating from her standpoint. She keeps kind of bugging Liz to go prom dress shopping with her because they went prom together, they agreed on this, and Liz doesn't really want to go with her. First of all, she kind of wants to bail on her, and like I feel like she might for either if Michael asks her out or if her and Wes end up going together or whatever. Like I feel like she's gonna bail on her friend Jocelyn, which I feel so bad for Jocelyn because like I said, Jocelyn deserves better. On that standpoint, I feel bad for her. The main character does have like reasons, but she's not like communicating them. And I don't think they're really like, in my opinion, difficult to communicate, but maybe because like I've never dealt with like a death of a parent sort of thing, especially in high school, so maybe it's just like me being closed-minded. But she's having a hard time with prom and stuff, partly because she's always dreamed about going to prom in that rom-com sort of way, but at the same time, her mom just not being here to see her graduate, it's kind of been really tough on her, which I can empathize with that. I understand that. But she's kind of not able to communicate to Jocelyn why she doesn't really necessarily want to go to prom because her mom's not going to be there, and why like her going prom dress shopping has actually been something that's going to stress her out. I just would like to see her tell it, because I feel like with your best friends it's a bit easier to communicate these sort of things. Like it's not like some random person that it might be more difficult, but it's like her and Jocelyn are really close. I think she would be able to communicate that, but she's just not. She's always coming with these excuses, and it's looking really shady, and she's constantly just lying to Jocelyn about like everything, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the friendship from the main character side of things. I don't think she's treating Jocelyn very nicely, and you know what, like, it's one of those things you just like kind of have this sense of dread in the pit of your stomach because you know it's going to go bad. So I just don't like that aspect of the book. Like I get that we're trying to talk about grief and that's all important. I wish she would communicate that because I feel like Jocelyn would understand. And I don't know why she's unable to communicate why it's so stressful for her. So I think that's kind of my struggle, is like I don't know why she can't communicate that. Like I said, I'm 200 pages into it, so I feel like at this point should have just gotten it over with. My mom raised me to be a communicator, so I don't know. And then we have the romance, which I think the romance between Wes and Liz is really cute. I really like their dynamic. I like how they kind of put the rivalry aside pretty quickly, and she's constantly like, wait, I don't like him, but then she's talking to him and says like, I don't know, I feel like there's parts of the writing that kind of bothers me. Like I like this book, and like I'm enjoying the story as a whole. Like it's probably like a 4-star at this point in time, maybe like a 5 stars, who knows. Maybe not with my complaints, I don't know. I feel like I'm complaining a lot about this book, but like I am enjoying it. Like I want to make that clear. The main character is like one of those stereotypical oblivious YA protagonist to drive the story forward, which is kind of how I'm feeling about her. And maybe it's just me being like 20 now and reading YA compared to, you know, when I was 13 and reading YA. Little different experience here. I'm still enjoying YA. I still love YA. I still like YA contemporary, still my jam. And I know the genre like very well at this point, so maybe it's like one of those things too, because I know the genre so well. I'm a bit more critical when it comes to it as a whole because I've read so many books in the genre. Yeah, she's kind of just clueless. She kind of wants Michael, but I don't know, she doesn't really even seem that into Michael because a lot of things, which I mean, they're supposed to show you, the reader, obviously, that things are in her and Michael aren't going to work out, and her and Wes are going to work out, so I get it from that standpoint. It's very clear Wes is and her obviously going to end up together, obviously. But, I mean, you knew that going into it. That's not surprising. Overall, I think the love story is really cute. I really like the dynamic between Liz and Wes. I like their relationship. I like their banter. It's very clear, like, it's very easy for her to be herself around him. Even when she can't seem to communicate with her best friend, she can always still communicate with Wes. So with her and Michael, it's clear that things are pretty awkward between them. And despite the fact that she thinks she likes him, she doesn't really like him like that. It's just like a head thing. I think she's got it into her head that like we must get together. And I hate to compare it to that book I hated, The Boys Next Door. They both kind of have similar plots in that way, but this one's less stupid, where the main character likes this boy, and it's kind of because she in one way believes like her mom wants that for her, which I think in some way yes. Like I think her mom obviously wants her to be happy and in love, and it's not necessarily she thinks it's necessarily Michael exactly, but it's kind of what she's thinking at this point, that Michael is that one who's gonna be her perfect romance or whatever, and then realizes Wes. Whereas in the other book, it was just like real stupid the way it was done. So this one, I guess, I don't know, makes a little more sense on that. Overall, I am enjoying it. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. And it's only making my decision harder because the other book I am reading, Say Yes Summer, is also like equally as good. I probably have equal opinions on both of them. So it's really going to depend on, I guess, the last half of both of them to see which I'm gonna enjoy more because I have no freaking idea at this point. And I know you're like only seeing one vlog unless you chose wrong, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. I like them both, and I have pretty similar feelings on both, which is not great for a vlog like this where you get to choose. And then I'm gonna feel bad if like I just barely like one more, which that might be the case. But yeah, I make sure to see where this go. I definitely see the hype of this. At the same time, I feel like if you read, like you've read a lot of YA, maybe like me, I mean, I'm still enjoying it because it has like tropes I enjoy and it has dynamics I enjoy and it does things that I enjoy. But at the same time, I think I may be looking for other things in YA now. So it's pretty your standard stereotypical YA book. Like, I definitely see why it's so popular because, like, it does a lot of the same things that people like. You kind of have these sort of rivals, but they were childhood rivals, and now, like, I feel like if you like this book, you should pick up I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest, because the dynamic in there is a little similar. They are like next door neighbors. They kind of were childhood friends, and then they were like rivals, and then they go on a road trip together and they connect and whatever. So I feel like if you like this book, you should definitely pick up I Want to Be Where You Are if you have not already. That they're very similar to me, aside from like the rom-com-y aspect of it. I feel like the relationship kind of reminds me. The book is cute. It's a fun time. I am enjoying my time with it. I'm going to continue reading it today and hopefully finish it up today. So I'm curious to see which one I will enjoy more, because honestly, like I said, I don't know. I finished Better Than Movies not long ago, and it was a good time. I'm happy to have read it. This got a 4.5 out of me, so it went up a rating. I think last time I said I was saying like a 4-star, and it went up. So the second half of the book was really cute. I really liked Wes and Liz together. I really liked their relationship. I liked their dynamic. I was like, it was pretty swooty. Like the lines at the end, like the, I don't know, like that "she's not you" line got to me. And like the monologue at the end was really cute. It was a really cute like love confession, get together sort of thing. So I really liked the relationship. Things got resolved. I mean, like I said, I wasn't a fan of the miscommunication. Some things didn't go exactly how I expected them completely to. Things got resolved with all the characters. I guess it's fine. There was some miscommunication in the end, which, you know, that's my favorite trope, obviously, miscommunication. Maybe it's flip the script. Flip the script has, like, shown me that you can write a book without there being miscommunication and it's still good. So ever since then, anything that has miscommunication is just all of a sudden a no for me. Not to say a no, because I did really like this book, so it's very cute. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it. I really liked the love confession. I liked that there was a playlist, which I'm gonna have to make one. There was a playlist in the audiobook. It said it at the end, so I don't feel like it'd be in the print. Yeah, here it is. Here's their playlist. So I'm gonna have to actually make that a playlist. They even like mentioned a Taylor Swift song in there, and there was like New Year's Day, and it was playing. It's just like, this is relatable, and I was just like, yes! I mean, I know who likes Taylor Swift. Good taste, in my opinion. I don't know much else to say aside from this is really cute. It was a fun time. I definitely could see this being a movie. It's very, like, I could see this being, like, adapted into, like, a Netflix film, and, like, honestly, I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, this should be adapted into a Netflix film. Netflix, if you're watching this. So I got some content for you. Definitely, I feel like if you liked 12 the Boys I Loved Before, if you're into rom-coms, I feel like this is just gonna work for you. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this one. It was very cute. It was a fun time. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, I texted my friend while I was reading this. I'm like, you should read this book. I think you'd like it. You should also pick up I Want to Be Where You Are, because I gotta say, these books kind of remind me of each other. So I don't think I like that one as much as I like this one, but like it was still like a solid read. It was very good. So if you liked this book, pick up I Want to Be Where You Are. Got that? Because I know this book's pretty hype, so I feel like, I don't know, more people might have clicked on this video just because of, like, the hype of this book. I've heard it talked about quite a lot. I got it recommended, too. It was a good recommendation, clearly, so, like, it was a personalized recommendation. I'm like, you did good here, I did enjoy this book, so I'm glad I bought a copy because now I own it, so that's fun. And yeah, also the cover's really cute. I like how it's referencing rom-coms. I think I like Dirty Dancing. I don't know what the one is with, I haven't seen a lot of rom-coms, to be fair, so maybe I don't know all of the references. I actually haven't seen Dirty Dancing. I haven't seen, like, a lot of, like, I think aside from, like, She's All That, that was the only one I think I've actually seen, because like I said, I'm not really, like, a rom-com movie person. I'm a rom-com book person, but, like, when it comes to movies, no. I'm not a fan of rom-coms, because I just don't like movies, but that's a me thing. I'd rather spend my time being invested in a series where I'm spending like years waiting for these characters to get together rather than, you know, 2 hours. That's boring to me. Clearly a slow burn kind of gal. Yeah, I don't know what else to say that you should read it. Very like standard YA too, like it's nothing like groundbreaking, but like it's the kind of YA that I enjoy and I know a lot of other people enjoy. So I mean, I think people would like it. So, I mean, it's very, you know, similar to everything, like a lot of things I've read, but that doesn't mean it's not good, if that makes sense. I think there's a lot of tropes and things that people would enjoy. But I'm definitely going to pick up more of Lynn Painter's books. I think she's writing some, like, adult stuff, too. So, gonna have to pick up more of her books because this was really cute. There's also, I'm pretty sure, like a Helen Huang reference in here where she was reading a Helen Huang book, and I was like, yes, yes, you have taste. So I was really shocked, I'm pretty sure anyways, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember her mentioning Helen Huang, and she was reading in the car, and then there was like a steamy scene that came in, and she started blushing, and she's like, I gotta turn this off, no, I can't read this anymore, which I thought was kind of cute, especially because, yeah, Helen Huang writes very good books, so I was like, yes, good taste. I need to stop talking because I'm rambling at this point. So, we're gonna move on here. So, you're probably wondering, was this book, in fact, better than Say Yes Summer? It's obviously better than Say Yes Summer, oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like it was pretty clear. Got a 4.5, it's definitely better. But if you want to go back to that vlog, you can. Chosen correctly. Congratulations, you get a ribbon. Here, I'll give you my trophy. I have a trophy. Congratulations, you win! Unless you're coming from the other video, and then of course I'm sorry, you lose, but that's okay. I mean, props to you for picking this book over the Friends to Lovers book, I gotta say. So now it's time to choose our next book, so I'm gonna go get them. We're doing sci-fi now. I've chosen different genres for all of these while trying to get contemporary and rom-coms in here as much as I could. But I mean, we started with adult romance, Kindle Unlimited romance. Then we moved on to fantasy. Then we did contemporary because I was missing it. I was like, going through those two fantasy books, I was just like, okay, now I want a contemporary, and now we're gonna read some sci-fi. Both books I'm really excited about, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about them. Like this, I don't know, this might be the one that like, this might be the choice that like breaks me. Cause sometimes like, I'm never like sure if I'm actually gonna like, you know, what if I like both books equally, which was almost my issue here until I read the rest of the book. So anyways, we have The Sound of Stars. This one is about, I don't know a lot about this book, but it involves, like, the catch line is, can a girl who risks her life for books and Ellory who loves pop music work together to save humanity? Does that not sound great to you? I'm excited about this book. I'll read the plot of both of these so you know I'm actually, like, doing the plot justice and you're not just going in with, like, I don't know, terrible guesses because I just did the plot a disjustice. Let's not do that. 2 years ago, a misunderstanding between the leaders of Earth and the invading Ellory resulted in the death of 1/3 of the world's population. Today, 17-year-old Ellie Baker survives in an Ellory control center in New York City. All art, books, and creative expression are illegal, but Ellie breaks the rules by keeping a secret library. Does that not sound fun? Young Ellory Commander Morris finds Ellie's illegal library. He is duty-bound to deliver her for execution, but Morris isn't a typical Ellory, and Ellie and her books might be the key to a desperate rebellion of his own. So, this sounds great. This has just been, like, staring at me on my bookshelf, so I'm pretty excited about this. But then also, we got an Enemies to Lovers book. This book also sounds great, and it's been on my radar for quite a while, and I'm buddy reading it with a friend. It's like two boys alone in space, sworn enemies, set on the same rescue mission. Two boys alone in space, and they're enemies, and they hate each other. So this is giving me very much These Broken Stars vibes, which was like my favorite book in 2020, which is the main reason I want to pick this up. Ambrose wakes up to on the coordinated endeavor with no memory of a launch. There's more that doesn't add up. Evidence indicates strangers have been on board. The ship's operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome, brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. But nothing will stop Ambrose from making his mission succeed, not when he's rescuing his own sister. In order to survive the ship's secrets, Ambrose and Kodak, is that it? Will need to work together and learn to trust each other, especially once they discover what they are truly up against. Does this not sound great? I don't know if these are standalones, I don't know if they're part of the series, but I'm excited about both of them. We're gonna have a fun time in space, so time for you to choose either which one you want to hear me talk about more, or which one you just think I'm going to enjoy more.